the gurgling of the water. All right. All set?
Oh, all right. I am good to go.
Places, everybody. Places?
Okay, we're in place.
All right. Hey, Holly.
Hi, Dave.
What's happening?
How you doing?
Welcome.
Welcome to What Difference Does It Make?
Thank you. Good to be here.
I'm so happy to have you here. Because really, we wouldn't be doing a podcast without you.
Our humble abode. Well, I wouldn't be doing it without you.
I hope not. Are you thinking of going solo?
No, that's right.
You tried? Is that what you said? You tried?
No, I haven't. Dude.
Okay.
I have not.
I better be on my best behavior.
No.
Make you want to stay with me.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
We're off to a good start.
Yeah, 1983.
1983. We're going to kind of set the table. We finished up 82. We finished up 81. We finished up 80.
And we're moving on to 1983, which I believe was a good year for the most part.
For the most part, yeah. I'm sure you have a lot of memories from 83. That's the year you graduated.
That is the year I graduated from high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had one more year left, so that was...
So you can give the in-high school perspective, and I can give the I've graduated from high school.
Oh, sure. You probably weren't even in school at senior year.
Some.
Okay.
You were probably in school your senior year.
Well, to go to a fine institution like CSUN, you gotta really ratchet it up there.
Go Matadors.
Go Matadors, indeed.
Yeah, so 1983. But we're not going to talk about any music today.
No, well, we're setting the table. I think we did this for previous years.
We may have. I don't remember that far back.
Okay.
No, it's fun. I actually loved. I really enjoyed it. I you fall into the rabbit hole, and I was looking at 1983, and then I had forgotten some of these incidents that had occurred, or some of the things that were invented or brought to market, and I thought, oh, that's exciting. Let me look a little further.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do here. We go down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
That you remember from 1983.
Oh, that I remember? This is not something I'd remember, but something that caught my eye was the average monthly rent.
You weren't paying rent.
I was not paying rent. I was not paying rent for many years to come, but I still couldn't believe that the average monthly rent was only $335
It was zero for you.
a month. It was zero for me.
I know. You can't beat that.
It was my sanity.
Sure. Had to deal with mom. Did you have a curfew your senior year?
I must have had a curfew. I don't know that I adhered to it, but I'm pretty sure I had like a midnight curfew or one, maybe midnight or one. I don't remember, but I remember, and it was back in the day before cell phones, so it's not like you call your parents to say I'm going to be late. You just go home late. Well, I did. I don't know about you.
Suffer the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Grounding. I get grounded.
Did you get grounded?
Yeah, I got grounded.
Like, what was the grounding like?
Just I couldn't go anywhere. I had to be in my room.
You had to be in your room.
Which we try not to give our own kids as punishments, right, when they were younger, because we didn't want their rooms to be seen as punishment. But I was relegated to my room, probably because my parents didn't want to see me.
My punishment, I remember one year, was they actually took my stereo away.
Okay, that is a real punishment.
That was a harsh. Yeah, that was really bad.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that's way worse than just having to stay in your room. I got to read at least, although I wasn't a reader at the time.
Just staring at that old man from The Cure, staring at the sea.
Exactly.
Or at the beach, or where?
Both. It was staring at the sea and standing on the beach.
Standing on the beach, yes.
Mm-hmm. You can call it whatever you want. I think mine was called Staring at the Sea.
Yes.
But also Mario Brothers was debuted that year.
Were you a gamer?
I wasn't.
Well, why bring it up?
Because most people are.
I'm trying to get you to go.
Oh, you want to know about me? What about you?
But did you go to the arcade? Did you go to like I went to the Wood Lake Bowl and plopped down quarters. There was, and I did play
Donkey Kong
3.
Yeah.
Not as good as Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong 2, in my humble opinion.
Well, I was a more of a traditionalist. I don't go. I like Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man, but not much further than that. Centipede, but we used to play at Castle Park in Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was far away from me. So we went to the bowling alley.
Yeah. You also had, my understanding is in your neighborhood, you had a donut place that also had some video games inside. Was it Yum Yum or?
There was that.
Yeah. I know my RA used to go there.
I went to, there was a place called Skating Plus where, you did your roller skating.
Yes.
And they had a great arcade there.
Yeah, no, we went to Northwood Skateland.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that was, and actually I did do a little, I saw that That was the year of Dragon's Lair. Did you ever play that?
I did not.
You didn't play Dragon's Lair?
That was not my game, no.
I mean, there was no skill involved. It was memorization. Like you had to move to the left, move to the right, duck, up, down, and then you get destroyed. You make a wrong move, and then you have to put in another quarter. It was a little ridiculous because it was just you do remember Dragon's Lair?
I do remember it. I never played it though, so I didn't know how to play.
It was crazy to look at. I mean, it was just an amazing game. Technologically, it was. I think it was like from what I understand, it was like a laser disc or something.
So no joystick or anything? No,
it was just a joystick. And I think there might have been a jump. I don't know if even there was a jump button. It was just moving. There was one stick, and you just moved it. And you had to avoid getting slayed by the dragon or, stepping on the right stone.
Okay, so now you're making me want to. I wonder if I have this in my garage, if it's in our multicade.
No, I'm sure your RE remembers this game.
Oh, of course.
I would remember. I've been in your garage, and if they had Dragon's Lair, I would have gone to that one immediately.
But it's in the. Would it be in a multicade? Is it? It's a in the cabinet, right?
No, it was. I mean, it was a standalone.
But we could have it. But it was a machine. It was a So it could be in there.
I don't know if it's purchasable, if it's around anymore. I'm sure it is somehow.
If it is, I'm sure
I'm sure
will know about it.
I'm sure you would have had it in your house if it was available. So anyway, I do remember that. And there was another sequel. It was like the Mario Brothers was another one that came out. Did you ever play Mario Brothers?
Yeah, Mario Brothers.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I like that one.
First released as a Nintendo arcade game in Japan in July of that year.
Did you have Nintendo? I think this was the year Nintendo actually came out, the 8-bit.
Yeah, no.
The classic 8-bit.
Yeah. Did you have it?
Yes, I did have that. That was a game changer for me.
No, we had Pong.
Okay. Well,
that's it.
You had Pong. Did you have Breakout? Did you play Breakout at all?
No.
No.
Was Breakout the one?
That was a one-player game where you just had to knock out the bricks at the top.
Where? Because I only started playing that on my phone on BlackBerry. Remember, they
that might have been the first thing you could play on your phone.
Yeah.
That and Snake. Did you ever play Snake?
No.
Where you couldn't run into like there was a tail of the snake, but you had to keep moving along. It was like one of the first games I remember playing on a cell phone.
This does not sound at all familiar.
All right.
Huh.
How about that? So there were video games that were played a lot.
Yeah.
By me, apparently not you.
Yeah, no, not me.
You didn't have. Yeah, it was
arcade games, not games. We never had a home console.
Never, ever. You had Pong.
We had Pong at home when I lived at home with my parents, and then when I had my apartment, we did not.
Okay.
Now we have nothing. We really just have a Wii. Well, Sam has some. We have a Wii. That's the extent of our family home gaming.
Yeah, we had a Wii a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
Which was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I'm not into playing. Because I have such a short attention span, I can't focus on a game that goes on and on and on for weeks on end. That's tough. Even when I played Zelda on my 8-bit, that was a tough one. It's tough to save. I remember it was.
And continue on. You want to start new every time.
No, it was just like I want to play a game that's
winnable and
that doesn't go anywhere necessarily. Like a game like Tetris was great. You play your little puzzle game, and then that's it.
It says a lot about you. I don't know what.
I don't know.
It says something.
I don't know what that says.
Okay, what do you remember from 19? What do you remember?
Well, those were. Well, I don't think I had that. I don't think I think it was after when I was in college. That's when we invested into the. And I bought that. I split it with my friend. Like it was like half of it was half the time was in my house, half the time was in his house. And then I think I kind of just forgot about returning it to him. I think I moved to New York and then I kept it with me.
You didn't have to buy him out?
I don't think I ever bought him out. I probably owe him money.
Yeah, it might be an antique now. It might, a classic.
No, it was sold a long, long time ago. Those aren't.
But to feed yourself in the starving year, in the lean years?
Yes, exactly. That's how I kept entertained, was through my Nintendo. All right. So in '83, what did I do to?
What?
I just remember movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were some good ones.
Yeah. Yeah. If you wanted to find me, most likely I was in the movie theater.
Okay. Let me guess. Of the movies that were released that year, which one your
it's
your
pretty
favorite,
easy.
and then you can try to. Yeah, it is. Oh, there were some really good ones.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
Star Wars, right? Return of the Jedi.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Which I liked, but I didn't love.
Oh.
Too cutesy for me. The Ewoks lost me.
Yeah, I guess if you're a purist, a Star Wars purist.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I don't know. But it was still, it was a Star Wars movie, so all good.
There were a lot of other good ones released that year. A lot.
Yeah, as I was looking at this list, though, it's a lot of sequels, as it still is.
I wouldn't even count the sequels.
There's still, as I was looking at the top 100, there's Superman 3, there's Jaws 3D, there's Psycho 2, Porky's 2.
Oh, I didn't even look at those. We're talking Scarface, National Lampoon's Vacation, Risky Business, Big Chill,
Okay.
Valley Girl. How about that? Valley Girl.
Valley Girl. Oh,
Yep.
I didn't even look. Where is Valley Girl on my list of top movies of 1983? Oh, look at that. It's way down there. It's number 41.
Yep, not on my list.
You saw the movie, didn't you?
Of course.
I don't know.
I lived it.
You didn't. I don't want to hear that.
Yes, no.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage. E.G. Daly, remember? Sorry, Elizabeth Daly. It might be how she was referred to in the...
Yeah. Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even, Deborah Foreman.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah, she's adorable.
They were all great. That was, still a funny movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Funny maybe now for different reasons.
Probably.
But Vacation, National Lampoon's Vacation, that movie, I'm assuming you thought it was as funny as I did.
Oh, yeah, very much.
But that was, that's a long, it has no shelf life. I can't find the words. That movie is the best.
And yeah, very much so. I can't think of the actress.
Barbara D'Angelo?
No, she played
The kid?
She played one of the kids that they visited, and she went on to be on 30 Rock, and she went on to be on, Kimmy Schmidt?
Wait, are you talking about... Oh, we're talking about Vacation. What's her name? Jane Krakowski?
Jane Krakowski was in
Yeah.
that. Yay! She played, she was a kid actress in there.
Yeah. 83. She was probably... Because
She was
close to
probably
our
12,
age.
13 years old.
Yeah.
Very, yeah. But yeah, of course, I can quote everything from that movie. And I love just the bit players, Eugene Levy.
Oh, God.
I was all
Christy Brinkley.
family truckster. But, as I look back, there were a lot of these movies, like the comedy movies that didn't do, as I'm looking at the back end of what was big, Strange Brew, because I was a big SCTV fan. The Man with Two Brains did not do well at all, it looks like. And that was one of my favorites.
Really?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even on my radar.
Steve Martin.
Yeah. No, I
would probably,
love.
I don't know how well that would hold up today, but I remember watching it many, 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 many times and renting it, on the
VHS.
VHS, yeah.
You know what? I take that back. I think I did see that movie.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking of the comedy of the one with Steve Martin. I was thinking of a horror movie.
Okay.
And
yeah. Dr. Huffar. I don't know. I still remember his name, yeah. So good. Look at all these. Stroker Ace. What else did as I'm looking at the back? A lot of teen meaning of life. But yeah, a lot
Monty
of
Python?
Yeah.
Huh.
A lot of teen comedies too. All right. So good time to take a break?
I'm exhausted. Let's take a break. Or as my friend Fable, my BFF Fable would say, I'm exhausted.
Okay. Well,
let's take a break.
We
Cut. Stop talking. Take a break. Welcome back.
Here we go. Back to 1983.
On What Difference Does It Make? The podcast. Yeah.
Did you go to the movies?
I went to the movie. I've gone to the movies my whole life, and early on, you too. You go to way more movies than I do now, but we would go to 2 or 3 movies in a weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, there's Easy Money, Outsiders. All good. Did you see The Outsiders? Yeah. You probably had an Outsiders poster, didn't you? You must have.
Maybe.
Must have loved C.J. Howell. Who was your...
Are you talking about... yeah. No, but who... was Matt Dillon in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was it for me.
You were a Matt Dillon
He
guy.
was it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
I was looking at... There's like all these... My Tutor and Spring Break.
Oh, Jesus.
I actually looked up Spring Break. That was Cheap Trick did the theme song to that, called Spring Break. And I looked at the... and I saw that...
That should go on this playlist, this Spotify playlist for this week.
Jeff, I didn't look at I tried to look it up, what he looked like, because I can't even imagine him as a teen. But Jeff Garlin was in that movie.
You're kidding.
He played some character named Gut Gut. So I'm sure he was a chubby teen.
Yeah. He's
Funny.
He's so funny.
Yeah,
so
well,
funny.
imagine what he was like as a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
All right, so my favorite teen comedy, which was like even a serious comedy. This was like the first like sexy thing I've ever seen on film. It was Risky Business.
Yeah. Rebecca De Mornay.
Yeah, like do you remember like that the theme song, the Tangerine Dream? Later when I worked at the Wave, we played was it Love on a Real Train? I still remember it.
Oh.
But that music, and I just remember him and Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay on the train. I was like, wow, oh, this is.
I didn't even remember the song.
It was like a really sexy love scene that I'd never seen before, and of course, there with my parents watching it. And, oh my god, I saw nudity on screen before, but never like
love,
like love,
real love.
like a love scene. Like, oh my,
Yeah.
what's happening here? This is.
God.
But it was very, that was still, I think it's still a great movie.
It is a great movie. It's funny. I was looking at this list, and obviously we saw Risky Business in 1983, but one of my other favorite movies that came out in 1983, I don't believe I saw it in 1983, Scarface.
Yeah, I did not see it.
No, I
in
think
the
I saw
theater.
it much later. But I didn't even realize it was 83, but that was a freaking great movie.
All right. What about Yentl? I'm sure your parents took you to see Yentl.
No, I don't remember going to the movies with my parents, and I
Really?
think I saw Yentl later also. Yeah, no, we didn't go to the movies.
You did not.
No.
Did you see Staying Alive? That was another
Of
sequel.
course. I think I saw Staying Alive with my mom.
I saw it with my grandma.
Wait, Staying Alive, Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saturday Night Fever, one of my favorite. I think
Yes.
we've touched on that.
I did see it with my mom. But that was 7...
Do you remember who directed that, Staying Alive? It was Sylvester Stallone.
God, really?
Yeah. It's a horrible, horrible movie.
Huh.
I mean, not to
Yeah.
throw that Sylvester Stallone onto the bus.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, I mean,
It's usually the fault of the writers.
it was like the dance sequence. It was like they were set in hell or something. It was just, I don't know.
Oh, boy.
It did not work. Even as a 17-year-old, like, this is not right.
See, it's your refined taste.
It was. It was also a year. There were 2 James Bond movies. Did you know that?
Which ones?
There was the one where Sean Connery came back. Never Say Never Again. And then there was. This is the real name. It was Octopussy.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They allowed that.
Which
You know what? Here's something the whole family can see. Go see Octopussy. Take the family.
I don't know if Bond is for the whole family.
Bond is.
I mean, it is for the whole family, but I don't know if I would take kids to see James Bond. Well, I mean, times are different. And again, I didn't see it with my parents. And I also don't think I started watching James Bond films until later in life.
Oh, really?
Much later in life.
I discovered it in '77 with Spy Who Loved Me. So Roger Moore is my James Bond.
Okay.
I guess, he will always be my James Bond.
I actually like Daniel Craig.
No, I understand. I understand that, but this, you always remember your first.
Yeah.
So Roger Moore was
Moore was your first.
Roger Moore was certainly my first.
Very romantic.
Thank you. Here's something funny. Who was older, Roger Moore or Sean Connery?
Oh, I think Sean Connery's older, right?
No.
Roger Moore's older?
Roger Moore is like 3 years older than
Is he
Sean
still
Connery.
alive?
Roger, I think he recently passed away.
Yep, passed away in 2017.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He did Spy Who Loved Me. Then he did, because of Star Wars, he did Moonraker, like James Bond in space type thing. And, Octopussy. Octopussy.
I know. You just like it because of the name.
I do. Can you name, you will never be able to, but do you know the theme song to Spy Who Loved Me?
Of course, Carly Simon.
Yes. What was it called?
It's not called The Spy Who Loved Me.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Very good. This was also a song that did not have the title in the name, because you can't name your song Octopussy.
No, I don't even remember the theme.
It was All Time High by Rita Coolidge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Did not do well. It made it up to 36 on the charts, but the adults loved it and made it to number 1 on the adult contemporary charts.
Are you talking music?
Yeah, I am. Well, it's kind of a music thing here.
I also, by the way, like Pierce Brosnan as James Bond.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Not a Pierce fan. He's good as Remington, but James not so much.
Well, yeah, Remington Steele, but all these I don't remember these because I didn't see them. Barry Nelson, David Niven, Timothy Dalton, George Lazenby. There you go. Sorry,
that's okay. You're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay, and then one that I'm sure you saw was Flashdance.
Of course.
Okay. Did you dress like?
Yeah.
You
had my sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Wore my leg warmers. That was a big that year for fashion.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Were you a maniac?
I was a maniac. In my own mirror, I was a maniac.
Were you one who danced in her bedroom?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's still the only place I dance.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, maybe.
I've seen you dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can dance if I want to. Leave my friends
can
behind.
leave you. Yeah. Okay. You want to move into fashion from Flashdance?
All right. Well, you tell me about your fashion because I had no fashion sense. So I'm out. But go ahead.
I bet you did. Did you have a members only jacket?
Dig if you will the picture. Go ahead. Let's see. What were you?
Did you wear a members only jacket?
I still have one.
Aha.
Aha.
So you're set for the 80s cruise.
Although I didn't, I did not have I had a fake members. I have a real members only jacket now. I had a
fake one back
then.
then.
Yeah, it didn't say members only, but it looked like it.
Because they were expensive. The real ones were.
Sure,
right?
they were like $30-$40.
Yes. And did you have parachute pants to go with it?
I don't think I wore the parachute pants.
Well,
I was more the surfer dude who had the OPs and the lightning bolts. That was my look, and then I was done with it.
Yeah, done with.
I mean, that was my fashion in '83.
Oh, and then you gave up on fashion altogether.
As you can clearly see, I've given up all sense of hope here.
Oh, well, do you remember later in 1983? Because I remember since that was the year I graduated from high school.
Right.
As I moved into my college years,
mm-hmm.
Madonna was big. Becoming big in 1983.
That was her breakout year?
Some would say it was a breakout year.
No, 82 was her album came out.
Okay. So 83 she was gaining in popularity.
Yeah, and 84 was Like a Virgin.
Like a Virgin, yeah.
Came out. Okay.
So this was like borderline and
yeah.
So the lace gloves and you know the hair. Oh, I was a total.
You were Madonna Bee?
Yeah.
That was it.
Totally.
Madonna Bee is what they call them.
I remember.
That
with the everything. I loved the lace.
Did you have
and
like the lipstick was like a day glow type look?
Oh, with fluorescent clothes, but
you were into that.
Yeah, totally.
So you had the ripped like the off the shoulder look.
The Jennifer the flash dance.
So you were a little part Jennifer Beals, part Madonna,
but at different times.
But okay,
yeah,
never mixed it up.
Madonna, when I went out, the Jennifer Beals things were like an everyday thing. But Madonna, I didn't dress like Madonna on a daily basis. But going out, I liked the rip glove. I liked the lace and the boots, like the granny boots and
the granny boots. What were those?
The lace up boots.
Okay, they were called granny boots.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, I love those. I love and another thing which I had totally forgotten about, but as I was going down the fashion rabbit hole, girls wore jellies, those rubber shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't a Madonna thing, but
my girls wore those.
They came back.
Okay.
Like everything does.
It does.
Like cowboy boots.
Well, cowboy boots are always in fashion. I mean, for sure.
If you live in Texas.
Sure. You can always wear boots and get away with it, I think.
Yeah. Yes, boots. I mean, I have modified. I love cowboy boots. I've modified like fry boots, but not the full-on cowboy pointy toe, which I love, but I don't know. I wouldn't say they're in fashion. Would you?
Don't ask me.
Well, you are. I take what I said back before I was joking. You are very fashionable. In a hipster kind of way.
Well, yeah. Great. Ay.
Yeah. So that's...
Did you have a job back then? Were you...
I worked at Camp Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay. So tell me about that. What was that like?
Oh, my God. That was the best. We've talked about this.
I know, but what mall were you?
So it was in Topanga Plaza.
Okay.
Which is in Canoga Park, or they might say.
Still is?
Yeah. Yes.
Now it's in West Hills. Same location, yes. Different name.
Yes, but it's much more of a upscale. The only upscale store at the time I worked there was Nordstrom and Camp Beverly Hills. There was also a Montgomery Ward in there, which we used to call Monkey Ward. I don't know if you called it that.
Funny. First time I've heard that, but yeah, okay.
But Camp Beverly Hills was, do you remember the palm tree logo?
Yeah.
And it was all, I mean, this was a store made for me, except that the sweats were really expensive. It was all like sweatpants and sweatshirts and T-shirts and, big baggy, like, army pants, cargo-ish. Mm-hmm. And we got to wear that stuff to work every day. And it was the greatest. And it was a lot of pink and green. And it was a different world for so for people listening, Woodland Hills is a little more shishi than where I grew up in Northridge. Mm-hmm. So it was a different clientele. You had people coming from Calabasas and Agoura shopping there. Mm-hmm. And less Northridge and Granada Hills. So it was eye-opening. And I worked there, I think I probably started in 83 and worked there all through college.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I mean, I'd wear sweats to work every day. I do wear sweats to work every day.
So it's kind of like what Juicy it was or is.
Juicy, but Juicy was it was probably the Juicy of its, I guess it wasn't, I mean, Juicy is design, those are like designer.
Yeah.
Clothes, sweats.
There were a lot of not a lot, but Camp Beverly Hills was a thing.
2 stores.
There were only 2 stores.
There were only 2 stores. One was in, the other one was in Beverly Hills, which I had worked there occasionally. And the big claim to fame was at the, I don't know if it was around that time or a couple of years later, Melissa Rivers worked there too.
Okay.
So it was only those 2 stores, but it was before online shopping. They had a mail order catalog. So I think people ordered it in the mail, like if you lived across the country, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a big mail order business.
Guess word got out.
Yeah.
But that was it. There were only 2 stores. I didn't realize. For some reason, I thought it was like you could shop in Connecticut and get at Camp Beverly Hills. No, this is only really.
Yeah. And you would have thought that there might have been one in New York or on the East Coast, because I think the 2 guys that owned the store and the brand were from, I think they were from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a fun time. It was a very, aside from just getting to wear sweats. Have I said that before?
Yeah.
It was a fun, and we talked about this because that's where we got to play our own music. Everybody, whoever got there first for the evening shift, we got to put in whatever we wanted. And so I got 1983. It was great. That's where I, listened to all my Yaz, and it was awesome.
Played your Flashdance soundtrack.
Yes.
Michael Cimbello and all that.
Is this when you were working at Miller's Outpost, or was this?
No, I worked at the Gap.
The Gap.
I was a Gapper.
Okay, so the opposite of, it wasn't the opposite. It was the same, but competitor to Miller's Outpost.
Yes, the Gap was on one side, and Miller's Outpost was on the other. I believe Camp Beverly Hills was right in the middle.
Yeah, because it was in that Nordstrom wing when you jut out.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so we could have been there at the same time. We were at the same time.
Definitely were. I worked there, my senior year. So that was my first. Yeah, that was my first job.
So our paths could have crossed even before we actually met each other, because we didn't meet probably until 1980. Yeah, 5.
Probably 84, 85. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
So the Gap back when it was, super hip.
No, it wasn't super hip. You saw Stranger Things. Did you watch this season?
Yes, I did.
They still called it Guys and Gals, and
No, okay, you're right. It became hip after that. It was when the Gap still had their Gap.
I think the Gap became cool when they dropped the and just became Gap. But when I worked there, it was the Gap.
I always thought it was the Gap. When did they drop the?
Oh, they dropped
the. That was another one I discovered at Camp Beverly Hills.
They dropped the in probably like early 90s, late 80s. It's been Gap forever.
I continue to call it the Gap.
Well, everyone does. All right, I think so. It's just natural to say the Gap.
The Gap. Like the 405?
Yes, like the 405, yes.
Oh, see, you would know this because you work there. You have inside information.
No, I just know that out of living life is what happens.
I live life, and I still call it the Gap. I didn't even know it was just Gap.
There is no right or wrong. You could say the Eagles if you like, but it's actually Eagles.
I don't know if I believe that, but Gap. I'm going shopping at Gap today. That doesn't sound right.
I'm going to Gap. Yeah,
I'm going to Gap.
I'm going to Gap.
No,
but no. Well, look, if you look at, I'm going to pull up the logo.
Okay. I know the logo. I'm intimately familiar with the logo.
See that logo?
Oh, yeah, it's not those round letters. Oh, there's no the there.
Correct. Did you know that? So here's a fact. There's no the in Gap.
Look at that.
Now watch what I do when I Google the Gap.
You get those round letters, that big 70s and 80s looking logo. Say fall into the. Oh, yeah. Mind the Gap. There's a lot of Mind the Gap up there.
Yeah, when I type 70s, the Gap 70s, then you get the Gap.
There you go. That's still what I think of. When I think of the Gap, that's the logo I picture, the rounded letters. I mean, it's more circular. You know, now the Gap, even though the letters themselves are round, it's, you know what I mean? It's bubbly. Like,
it is,
as in
like
bubbles, not bubbly
letters.
as in, yeah.
Okay, even though everyone's having a good time, we're going to stop it right here and return next week as we look back at the year that was 1983. Until next week, for the What Difference Does It Make podcast, this is Dave.
This is Holly.
Check you later.
Over and out.